Welcome to the Home of Misfits podcast, where normal is optional, masks are unnecessary, and you belong. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Home of Misfits, where masks are optional. No, see, still screwing up. Normal is optional, masks are unnecessary, and you belong. There we go. One of these days. Today, apparently, it's not the day. So, anyway, welcome back. And I'm here today with Jane, and I'm excited because I'm always excited. I mean, you guys know me. I'm always excited to talk to people beyond, all their titles and their jobs and their accomplishments and everything. It's like talking about really the messy middle. Is like, what did you do to get here? What did it look like for you? So I'm excited. Hello, Jane. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you? Who is Jane beyond all the titles and the accomplishments and everything? Like
Uh,
the cliff notes, not the whole life story.
okay. Well, I've been married for over 52 years.
Congratulations.
After my husband died is when I wrote my book. And so trying to inform people of things to do. But basically, I'm just semi-retired, thank goodness. Not totally yet, but semi-retired.
I
And
think retirement is overrated. It's like, what does that mean anyway, retirement? You sit
yeah,
around, watch TV all day, or what? You know?
I'm just ready to get back to work.
Yep. So, it's like, who were you before? Before life humbled you.
Oh, just a working mom with two kids. Now they're all grown. So, doing all the life stuff, church, school, orchestra, all that kind of stuff.
Nice. What you do for fun?
I knit and crochet and read. Those are my hobbies.
Oh, nice. It's like, what do you, I mean, it's like, I tried crocheting. Apparently, I like have the attention span and the patience of a squirrel or a raccoon on caffeine, so.
Oh, it relaxes me. My husband used to say, "You've got the patience of Job," and I said, "Oh, I don't know about that, but I enjoy it."
Nice. No, that's awesome. So what kind of things do you crochet?
I crochet and knit. My sister and I do prayer shawls for people that need an uplift. And we do baby stuff, blankets, you name it, we can probably do it.
I love that. Oh, that is so awesome. It's like, and I think it's important to have hobbies outside of our titles, outside of being the mom, the wife, the husband, the whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like to find stuff that gives us joy and kind of centers us, I think, you
And
know.
it'll give you some relaxation or, you know, you can chill out for a while.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Then go ahead.
Well, we used to do craft shows too.
Oh, wow.
We enjoyed that. You
Oh,
sit and watch people, talk to different people. It
I
was
love that.
fun.
Why did you stop?
Well, as you're getting older, it's hard to take down tents and set up tents and all that. So we had to put that aside. But
Hmm.
that's okay.
Yeah. No, I get it because it's like I used to do shows and everything too, but then it's like my body said, yeah, right. It's like good luck with that. So what I learned is like asking for help was really hard for me for the longest time because it's like, hey, Miss Independent. It's like, oh, I can figure this out, I can do this, and it's like, and I learned that a lot of people have that block asking for help because I mean, our society conditions as if we ask for help, we are weak,
Yeah.
right? Is that a problem for you, or was that a problem for you too, asking for help?
No, I didn't mind asking for help, but it got to where the kids were the ones helping us. And then, they have their lives and you want them to live theirs. So,
Right.
we just backed off of it.
No, I totally get that. It's like,
It was another season for us.
yeah, and then, and then we like adjust our sales, and we do find other things to do, you know. I love that. So was there a specific moment where being prepared stopped being about logistics and started becoming emotional for you?
Um, well, my husband was sick for over 20 years,
Mm. So you
and
were the caregiver then?
I, well, the semi caregiver. Most of the time, he could deal with things on his own, but
Hmm.
still the caregiver, yes. And I don't know. I just started planning ahead, and when we had our kids, then I was thinking ahead on that. So we got
Hmm.
life insurance on them and on us, and you know, to make sure at least we were covered on that end.
Right.
And later, as he got worse and worse, then luckily I had bought cancer insurance, which a lot of people don't realize cancer insurance is out there.
I didn't even, I mean, I was like, you did what now? That's a thing?
That is a thing. And thank
Wow.
goodness we had it because the last 4 years he had cancer. We had life health insurance and we had good insurance, but it never pays for everything.
Right.
If you're going for cancer treatments, it's every day, back and forth, all of this stuff.
And it adds up fast.
So that extra money helped. And so I'd
Mhm.
advise anybody, especially if you might think more about it if you've got family members that have been through it and it may be hereditary or down the line. You might want to think about it.
Right. So, hey, for you guys listening, cancer insurance is a thing. Go Google it, right? Because it's like, what I'll be doing after this show is like, really, this is a thing? Like, but that's part of why I love doing the show because, it's like we all learn so much from
Mm,
each other all the time. It's just like, and it's not just about how to deal with situations. And it's like, yes, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And no, it's not necessarily a freight train. Okay. But I mean, we learn things like cancer insurance. I'm just in awe.
well, too, there's different life insurance.
Hmm.
There's the term insurance, which you buy, say, a 10-year term and pay for it for 10 years. But after that, I mean, it's over with. I
Right.
did that. I did that at one point, and I said, "No, I'm just throwing my money away." Now there may be a time when somebody might name that. Oh, okay, we need just 10 years, whatever. You have to make up your own mind on your own situation that you're
Right.
facing. But with me, I went to the whole life insurance that pays interest, earns interest, and has borrowing power. And in my
Hmm.
book, I talk about that because what I did on the borrowing power and different things. And it really helped there because you don't have to go through the bank and all of this stuff. And you pay yourself back later, when you can.
Hmm.
And it just has really been a help to us to have the whole life with the loans
Right. Oh, I can only imagine.
and it builds up the interest,
Right.
if you're 25,000, then later years down the road, you can help your kid get into a college or something if it's built up enough cash value, or
Hmm.
at least get them through the first year, maybe.
Right. Or, like a month these days.
Yeah, depending on the school.
Right. Right. Well, that's really interesting because it's like my husband and I, we used to have the whole life insurance thing, and then we actually switched. Well, I can't be insured at this point, but he switched to a 30-year term.
Mm,
So, I mean, but the thing is, what I love is like there's so many options out there. We just have to go and find what's best for us, and
yeah,
weigh out all the pros and cons, and not just like the immediate, because it's like a lot of times I find we are so focused on the 5 meter goal, the 5 meters ahead is like, okay, this is as far as I can go instead of looking like, okay, years down the road.
yeah,
We need to look at the really long term. It's like, how is it affecting, not just right now, right here, but it's like down the road, what are the ramifications? And that's not just with insurance, that's like with anything in life
yeah.
that you do, you know. So I find because I learned that like a lot of my clients are like, oh man, I wish I would have done this differently at this time. And I said, well, here's the thing. You learn the lesson. Next time you have a choice to make, you look beyond the 5 meters. You look at the 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 meters, so,
And we
but,
hope we make it that far.
well, I mean, hope is always there. Hope is always, I always say hope is great to have. It's a really shitty plan. Always have hope. Always plan for best case scenario, but it
Yeah,
doesn't mean you do not prepare for the other what ifs.
yeah,
And it's like that's why I'm saying it's like look beyond, and I'm glad you guys did that. So you're not just the 5 meter in front of you, but you looked at the big picture, the long term.
yeah. Because when it really started, I imagine getting somewhat emotional for me as my husband was in ICU one time. We thought he was going to die.
Right.
Luckily, he didn't at that time.
Good.
But it got me to really thinking then, okay, I need to, because the doctors had already told him that he could die any minute with his.
Mm.
He had diabetes, congestive heart failure, kidney disease, and then cancer.
Oh, good
So he
grief.
could die any minute. And I'm thinking, okay, I need to really make some plans now. So I went and did the pre-arrangements and prepaying for the funeral for
Mm-hmm.
him. Because who knows? I mean, who's going to go first? We don't know.
Right. Right.
But to make it easier on my kids, I said, I just went and, made an appointment, went in and took care of that and got it all set up and got the payment started. Luckily, he lasted quite a few years after that.
Nice.
So got that paid for. And I said, okay, now I need to make the next step. So I did the plots. And
Mm-hmm.
then after I got those done, I got the headstones done. So
Well,
thankfully, when he did pass away, my son tells everybody, he said, I can't believe it. All mom had to do was make one phone call and things were taken care of.
I mean, preparation, it's like in the military, they had a thing as like uh failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yes.
But it's like, and it's not just military. That's just what I learned it through my husband because he was active duty, and it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. But it really applies to everything. If you plan to fail, you fail to plan.
Oh. And you don't
That
want
this
to get caught in a disaster situation where you got to do it. And that's where emotionals come in.
right.
And you may overspend and
Well, you go
all.
in panic mode.
Yes,
Because when we're in survival and panic mode, our rational thinking is the first thing that goes out the window.
straight out the window.
Yeah, it doesn't even look back. It's just like gone. We cannot rationally think in that moment. So it's really good to have it all prepared beforehand. So, like, in your case, all you have to do is make a phone call
Yeah,
and things go in motion and are done. Which brings me to another thing is like, so it's like having to live with this is like, okay, that he is really sick, eventually the inevitable is going to come. It's like, how
yeah,
do you prepare for something like that? Because it's like, as humans, we're so afraid of dying,
uh-huh.
and it's like, and we rather ignore dealing with the feelings, the emotions, even the having the conversation and the topic itself, but it's like, it's inevitable. Newsflash, guys, we all die.
Yeah,
Some sooner rather than later. I mean, we would like to have that, just like there's a poem, it's called The Dash. And life is really the dash. It's not the before and it's not the after, it's that in between, it's the dash, and it's like extend your dash, it's like we want to enjoy that living on that dash as long as we can. But sometimes, we made other arrangements. But it's just like, how do you prepare with death of a loved one or in general?
well, our human nature, well, like me, I thought I had everything planned,
Hmm.
but when it happens, human nature takes over. I mean, thank goodness. I mean, I didn't have to do all of this planning along with the grief. I mean,
Right.
you basically fall apart and then you pull up your bootstraps and you keep going.
Right.
But it was a lot easier. You didn't have to do the hard things like going in and looking at a casket. All of that was done beforehand, and
Mm-hmm.
it just makes it a lot easier.
Okay. Now, did you do that all by yourself, or was your husband helping you with that?
Oh no, I asked him what he want. He said, you know, probably what I want, so you take care of it. He didn't want to hear anything on it, so I took care of it.
Right.
But he did
What?
make one CD that, because he played the guitar and all, so he made one CD with some songs he sang and played. He said, my last, and he labeled it My Last Wish. So I
Mm,
played that at the funeral home, and I said, okay, you know, that's what he wanted, that's what he got.
right. But I mean, it's like for you emotionally, what was that journey like? It's like from like, the initial holy crap diagnosis, this is becoming real, and then it's like, because you said it was several years, and it's like, how do you deal with that? It's like, how do you prepare and how do you kind of like, I mean, do you compartmentalize? That's a tough word. So anyway, do you compartmentalize or is like, I don't know.
You just basically have to do one step at a time. I mean, if my faith got me through it,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. If I didn't have that, I would have been a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have to take one step at a time. Okay, we got the doctor, the heart doctor now. We know what to do there, and then you got a kid do the kidneys. We'll deal with that. So you basically just have to hone in on one thing at a time and take it and deal with it, and then move to the next.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and the thing is like, so you have to deal with your own emotions through this whole thing, but at the same time, I mean, I see it with my husband and I mean, he's always worried about me and everything. So not only does he have to worry about his own stuff, but then it's like he has to worry about like my emotional state sometimes, and
Right.
it's like, how do you balance that? Because it's like you had your stuff to deal with, but then also you watched your husband, and I'm sure there were fears within him. It's like, I mean, how did that work for you guys? How did you help each other?
Just being there mainly. And well, for me, I needed somebody to vent. Imagine you would be one way to say it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going through this now. Uh, so my sister was my
hmm So you needed that
co-pilot or
outside, that that
mentor.
that that third party, that
Yeah, because
okay.
you got to have somebody to release your emotions to
hmm
and your fears.
Right.
Because Roy said, "Well, I'm dying soon." And I said, "You don't know that." And the human nature wants to deny it.
Well, of course, because.
Yeah. But I was working and I'm thinking, okay, I could die in a car wreck, on the way home.
Right.
But and you just have to sort of say, we don't know. It could be me. So let's just go on about our day and
hmm
deal with it at that time.
Right. And it's like I find too, because sometimes it's like to be able to um vent out your feelings, your emotions, your fear and everything to that outside person that's really not this close attached to the situation, it really helps.
Oh, yes.
So, and I think we all should have somebody,
Mhm.
and it's like, and sometimes we don't have a family member, sometimes we don't have that friend, but it's like there's counseling, there's counselors out there, there's your church, there's your faith community, whatever that is. It's
Yes.
like find somebody, because you need to let that out. You cannot like keep it in, because that all that negative emotion, good emotion too, but it's like we're talking the negative emotion right now. It festers in your body and it shows up as disease in your body. Like,
Oh, yes.
I'm like living proof of that. So it's like you need to find somewhere, something, an outlet, a person, that you can really release that out to in a non-destructive way, of course, because
Yes.
that's not helping anybody. Least of all, it's not helping you. So, but it's really important to have that person or have a hobby, that can let it out. It's like my husband, he's not the most social person, so I'm his best friend, which yay, it's great, but it also sucks. It's like but he does like he works out, he goes for into nature, he goes for hikes and all of those things, and that's his way of dealing with things.
Yeah.
But it's like but yeah, and I am a sounding board, which is fine. But there's certain things I'm sure that he's not talking to me about that's really bothering him because it involves me and my situation.
Mhm.
So it's like find somebody, something, where you can release that and let it out. It needs to come, like, really come out of you, not just your thoughts. It's like journal it, write it. But I find too that it helps a lot of times. It's like when I say it out loud,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, now it's gone. It's a release. Whether it's like staying in my head, it's still in me. But it's like you say it out loud, you write it out, something, just get it out. So, and I'm sure that helped you. I mean, you talking with your sister, that helped.
Yes. It was a lifesaver.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turned around because then she lost her husband.
Mm.
So I
So you
was
were
on
her
the other.
sounding board.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I mean, I love it, but I don't love it, but I do love it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? It's like
Yes.
it sucks that you had to go through all of that, but I'm glad you had somebody there.
Yeah.
So now, what do people pretend to understand about death that they actually don't?
That's a good question.
I know, right? Sometimes I come up with really good ones.
They fear it more than understand it. They don't understand it. They fear it more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to fear it because it's going to happen.
Right.
And that's the way I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got my faith to lean on too. I know where I'm going.
Okay.
That helps me.
Mm-hmm.
And
So, because it's like, I'm curious. I'm always curious. It's like, do you believe there's life after death?
yes,
Me too.
not
Thank you.
in the
I'm glad.
sense, not in the sense that we're living now.
Right. But our
There,
spirit moves on to the next. I call it, it's like I move on to the next adventure. I'm going on a trip, wherever that may be.
yeah,
Is that comforting? Was that comforting to you knowing that?
yes. And it was comforting me to know that my husband had the faith and that, like the Bible says, one day we'll see him.
Right.
So see Jesus
Oh, and
in
I
him.
can see it. I was like, partay.
I know, I mean, I don't want to be on the next bus, but when
Right.
my head gets pulled, I'll go. I mean, gladly, but I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know if I'm weird in thinking that, but that's the way
To
I
me or
feel.
not. So it's like that whole experience that you went through with your husband and all of that, has that changed? I mean, were you afraid of death before? Has that changed? Are you not anymore?
I think I was a little fearful of death before we found out he was so sick, but then all the Sunday school teaching and the preaching all kicked in and said, this isn't the end. And I think that's what gave me some comfort in knowing that, okay, whichever one of us goes first,
Mm-hmm.
that it's not the end.
Right.
And that gave me some comfort in that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
then I saw it different when you're sort of faced with seeing somebody that close. I've been through it with my mom and dad, but it's different on a spouse than it is a mother or father.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
hard,
absolutely.
what, but it is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like, and I can hear some people asking, it's like, how is it different? Well, you can't really explain it. You have to experience it. That's one of those things you cannot explain. You can only experience it.
And to me, it was harder to lose in my mom than my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with my sister, it was harder for her to lose our dad than it was to lose mother. So we
Right.
sort of, well, I'm a twin too. That throws something else in there.
That's a whole nother show.
So we sort of balanced each other out and lifted each other up when the situation called for it.
Hmm.
So that was a blessing in itself.
Right.
We were there to go through it.
Right. And I think a lot has to do with the attachment, the emotional attachment we personally have to that person, whether it's a parent, a spouse, a child, a friend, a relative, or whatever. I mean, it's like I think our emotional attachment, to that person makes a difference too.
Because
I
I was
think.
more attached to my mother than daddy, and Lane was right the opposite.
Right.
So,
Well, there. I mean, that explains it right there.
yeah.
So, what has grief taught you that comfort never could?
Oh, it's taught me more to help other people.
Hmm.
Even though I'm hurting, I want to help somebody else. So, and that's why I wrote the book. So other people may plan ahead and not be caught in the emotional and the grief and the financial and all that stuff all at once. Now,
Hmm.
disaster happens, you can't plan for those. But if you know something may be coming along, or you're getting older, or and all of that, try to. I've been to the funeral home with people. I said, okay, I'll be your moral support. Oh, I don't want to go. I said, I'll be your moral support. And so I'd go. I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
Right.
I'm there for you. I know people need to have someone that's outside of the emotional at that time. And I've learned to do that. And I've been to do that for several people. And it's helped them. Just me sitting there, and then all of a sudden, oh, they hadn't said anything about a flag because your dad was a veteran. Oh, we forgot to mention that. Okay, okay. So you some things I've been through, then I might know a little bit to say, hey,
Right.
what about this? Have you thought about this? Now,
Right.
whether you
And
do it,
and it's awesome that they have somebody like you, to show up and just be there. And sometimes that's all we need. It's like we are all capable of doing the hard things, but it's always nice to have somebody that even if they say nothing, and just the presence, just being there, knowing you're not alone. And you are not alone, no matter what it is you do. There's always something or somebody there who's willing to step in and hold your hand if needed.
and sometimes that's all you need is
Right,
somebody to stand beside you, and
right.
somebody coming up and saying things that just hit you the wrong way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like sometimes I can watch a commercial and start boohooing, and my husband looks at me, is like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Something got triggered." And that's okay. I mean, he laughs and he makes fun of it, and it's like, just shut it. But it's like you never know. But having somebody there, even if it's your husband making fun of you, you know,
Oh,
it can help because it can help snap you back out of that rabbit hole, I
yeah.
think. So. And yeah, I mean it's always nice to have somebody and know you're not alone. And it's like for anybody watching the YouTube or listening to the show, and it's like really no, you're not alone. You really are not alone. You never are. It's
Yeah.
like you're not the only person going through whatever's you're going through. There's somebody else who understands, who's been there, or is going through, I mean, not exactly the same thing because there's how many billion peoples on this earth? But it's similar. It might show up, it might different place, different people, different everything, but the gist of it, the energy around it is the same.
Yeah.
So you're never alone. And yeah, it's just where was it? Oh, I had a really good question. It went away. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. No. I hate it when that happens. Oh my God, it like totally went away. Anyway, but so I have people, my guests, they all fill out a questionnaire and everything. And
Uh-huh.
one of the things that I loved about what you said is like your story is not finished yet.
No.
It's like, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Well, in the book, I put the last chapter is the new you,
Mm-hmm.
because to me, you're still the same person with the same emotions and all after someone passes, especially a spouse, but it's different.
Right.
Things are different.
Mm-hmm.
My husband did all the cooking for us. I did the bacon, but he did the cooking. And it
Nice.
was, then I had to learn to cook again, and because he did all the cooking after he retired, I did all the
Mm-hmm.
cooking before. But after he was retired over 20 something years, so I was out of the habit of cooking. So I had
Yeah,
to
because
learn.
why should you if you don't need to?
I got somebody that do it for me. Why?
I know, right? It's like, hello, duh.
So I had to learn all of that, and I was trying to figure out, what all I need to do. And I had retired right before he passed, and
Mm-hmm.
so now I'm a part-time worker now, because it's you need to get out, so you need to do things that you enjoy now, and it's different because you were doing things you all enjoyed before,
Right.
which are still some of the things that you want to, but I'm not going hunting and fishing, and that's what he enjoyed. And you just got to find your own space, what you want in life now
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of your life.
Right. Right. I found the question. What chapter
Oh,
feels most unfinished for you right now?
I still finding the new me.
And I think we always do. We're always improving, we're always growing, we're always learning.
Mhm.
And what worked for us yesterday may not work today. I find
Yeah.
I realize that every day. Like, oh man. Or something that worked for a long time, all of a sudden does not work anymore at all.
Mhm.
Right? Have
Right.
you found something like that that is like worked for you for most of your life and now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, after been married for 52 years, and then that's gone. I mean, you don't have anybody here.
Right.
When you file your income tax, the next one, it's you're single.
Mm-hmm.
That's the eye opener. And because you don't want to join the widows group, but you're now in it.
Right.
And
Does that open up is like so when you did your tax return for the first time after your husband passed filing single, did that open up that grieving gash again? That wound, that whole process?
a little bit it did, because it
Mhm.
was just now the last year after he died, you have to file that they're deceased. So you have to
Okay.
file the last taxes with them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I filed the next year, I was, single, and it just, whoa, yeah,
Right.
oh, and it
Mm.
gives you sets you back a minute and say, oh, okay, now, okay. And now
Right.
things you had planned before because you were married and you could file this way and that way and all. Now you've got to readjust. Okay, now I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? Adjust my taxes and all of this stuff
Right.
for now.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
I just use the taxes as an example, but I mean, there's so many things, that for 52 years you guys did together as joined as, and everything, and now all of a sudden it's like every time this comes something up, and it's like the realization is like, oh, I'm single, this is me, I have to do this, and it's like I can only imagine that part of that grief always comes back and stabs you again,
yeah,
you know.
because now I'm involved in the widows and widowers at church. So we get together and do things because
Mm-hmm.
we're all in the same club.
Right. Because you all get it. You all have that understanding. You have that shared grief and knowing, I would say. Makes a
Yeah, we've
difference.
got some people in there that have lost their husband 17 years ago. I said, oh, it's the anniversary of my husband's death. And so,
Right.
we gather around and have a
Mm-hmm.
good time and try to help her that day.
Right. Yeah.
Or
Oh
like
wow.
me, it's been 4 years, but it's still, you know, you you don't get over it,
Mm-hmm.
you get through it.
Okay. Yeah, well, you learn to live with it, that it's a new reality and it's like, okay, now what do I do? I would imagine.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what kind of conversations do you wish more humans were brave enough to have before crisis forces them to?
Well, also in my book, I've got things on nursing homes. We had my dad in a nursing home for, well, he went in, couldn't speak, couldn't walk, couldn't feed himself, had several strokes.
Mm-hmm.
So, we didn't know if we'd lose him, because they said didn't know. And he was there for 8 years. The last couple of years, he could get down the hall faster than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell in the book some things that my sister and I did to help in situations because she would be the good person and I would be the bad, like the good cop, bad cop.
Right.
So she'd go and see my dad and she said, "Ah, he just doesn't look good because we're in different states and all of this." So I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "I'll wait till tomorrow." So I give the nurses a call and say, "I want to check on him." And they said, "Oh, he's doing good." I said, "Well, what's his stats?" And so I can play the bad guy then and say, "Well, I think you need to call the doctor or something, you know."
Right.
And then if me and Lane would come in and with our little folding chairs on the weekend, I imagine the nurses, oh no,
Like,
here,
oh,
here.
good grief, here they come again.
Yeah. But
But good for you. But good for you guys.
there was just, there's some little things in there. And then my mom had Alzheimer's. So
Mm,
we had to put her in a nursing home. And I tell all about that, getting her on Medicaid, and we lost the house and things we
mm,
could have done so we wouldn't have lost the house. But
right. Do you
her,
think that that experience with your mom prepared you with your husband?
yeah, I think you learn, and that's bad, but the older we get, the more people we know that died.
Well, yeah.
You
It's just
learn from,
life.
yeah, it's life. You learn from one experience to the other. Okay, if we face this, face that.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mother and my stepdad, they had cancer insurance. And when he had throat cancer, and it helped them tremendously. So
Okay.
then I went and bought
Okay.
cancer insurance. And so you learn, and that's what the book is for. So people, I hope, will learn some different things
Mm-hmm.
and
No,
having a
I
will and all that kind of stuff.
right. Now, is there a pain that quietly disconnects people from themselves, and what is it?
I don't,
It's
I don't
okay.
know.
If you don't have an answer, that's fine too. I was just curious.
I don't know. Well, one thing, I grew up with uncles um, working at funeral homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a different outlook on all that process. So that may have helped me through some of it
Mm-hmm.
because I know some of the goings and comings behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. And so I imagine that's why I'm more
Yeah.
comfortable.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'm
I
not
get that.
frightened or fearful. And
Mm-hmm.
anybody that hasn't been to a funeral home, this is the first time, I know that they would be fearful. And I've helped people, Jane, Dad died and I don't know what to do. And I said, I'll go with you. You call me when the appointment and I go with you. I
Mm-hmm.
won't tell you what to do, but then I'm the moral support, if you want to call it that.
I
But
love that.
you need
Thank you for doing that. That is
it.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, we all do what we can to help the human being next to us.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's awesome. Again, you don't have to do it alone. There's
Mm.
somebody there, you know. So if somebody listening feels emotionally exhausted and numb right now, what would you hope they realize about themselves?
That there is hope out there. And if you're facing losing someone, I believe there's life out there after death and that you would see them again if they've
Hmm.
got faith and believe that. So,
And
Jesus,
one thing I learned too is like we are way stronger than we think we are.
yes, when you're faced with it, your your inner strength comes out more than what you realize you have.
Hmm. Yeah. If you allow it, you have to allow it too.
You
You know,
don't,
you can go into that total victimhood, poor me kind of thing, or you can say, okay, yeah, this really sucks. Now what?
mhm. Or you can start asking, why me? Why me? But you'll never get an answer to that.
And it's like I tell my clients, it's like stop asking why me.
Hmm.
Because first of all, you don't get the answer. It's a rabbit hole, and that's like that complete victimhood thing.
Yeah.
Change the question to like, okay, what is this trying to teach me?
Yes.
It's like I found that's a much better question to ask. You will get the answer. And here's what's really cool is like once you learn the lesson, you don't have to repeat it.
You know it.
So tell me a little bit about your book real quick. Because I know that there's a lot of people, and I mean, and death and the fear of death is something is like it's human nature,
Yeah.
and it's like, tell us a little bit about your book.
Okay, it's called Be Prepared. We're all going to die. And that's a fact. What's
Mm-hmm.
the old saying? You're born, you pay taxes, and you die. I heard that years and years ago growing up. And basically, that's true. And that's where that dash comes in that we were talking about.
Right.
And, you know, you try to plan ahead. You can't see everything, but try to take life as it is. When you have kids, I go in there about life insurance and all that. Get it while the kids are young for them. It's
Mm-hmm.
building up cash so when they start to, they need a trip, senior trip or something, you can borrow off of it and different things like that. And then if you've got your parents going through stuff, make sure
Mm-hmm.
if you don't prepay stuff, at least pre-plan. Know what your parents want.
Mm-hmm.
Do they want to be cremated? Do they want to be buried? Where?
Have the hard conversations.
No.
Yeah.
But it's something that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, um, then you're faced with what in the world would mom have wanted?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And
I
then
love
you
that.
feel
So
bad because you don't know.
right. No, absolutely. So it sounds to me like your book is more like helping people get over the fear of death and helping them more, it's like accept it,
Uh-huh.
prepare. Um, am I getting that right?
Yeah, it's more of a guidebook, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
call it that.
Okay.
And
I love that.
I mean, it's for anybody that, when kids get out of high school and go to college, parents have paid for all this stuff and they don't realize they got to have car insurance. You got to have rental insurance or home insurance now since you bought a home.
Right.
You
It's
know,
like all those things that we don't really want to think about, but really need to.
yeah, and they take it for granted. Mom and dad's paid for it up to
Right.
this, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just sort of a guidebook. I mean, I can't tell you you got to go out and do any of this, but
Right. I mean, there are suggestions. It's like, hey, this might help you. You
yeah,
know,
and then you
you,
do what's your
my thing
situation.
is like, here's a suggestion, take it or leave it. What you do with it, that's up to you.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not, I can give you the glass of water if you're thirsty, or I can give you several beverages to choose from, but essentially you have to choose and you actually have to drink.
yeah,
Nobody can do it for you.
yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, wow. Whew. You make my heart sing, girlfriend. You just do. I was just like, I really enjoy talking to you. Unfortunately, we're coming to an end here. What is one last thing you would like our viewers and listeners to know?
Um, just have faith in yourself and hope and plan ahead if you can and take
Mm,
the situation and talk to your spouse or your loved ones and just see what they would want. If you just write it down and know what they would want,
mm-hmm.
make it easier on you if something happened to your parents. But I mean, that would be the main thing is hope and
Nice.
faith.
Right. I love that. Oh, I have chills. This is awesome. So if people would want to get a hold of you, is there a way they can get a hold of you, or would you rather stay private?
Um, let me
It's
see.
up to you. There's no you need to have like contact information. It's like, you know what? No, I just wanted to share this, and this is who I am, this is what I do, and the end.
Well, they can get in touch with me on my website,
Okay.
bjanejones.com.
Okay. Beautiful. Can you repeat that one more time?
Okay, bjanejones.com.
Perfect. Awesome. Yay. Well, thank you, Jane, for
Thank
sharing
you.
your heart, for sharing your energy, for sharing you. You're amazing, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's so good. Ah, my heart is so full right now. I don't have words for it. So it's just
Well,
awesome.
I
So
hope
thank
I
you.
helped somebody.
Oh, I'm sure it will. I think it will help a lot of people. So I know it helped me a lot. And it's like, I mean, even though I'm aware of a lot of things in the work I do, but it's still always nice to get like that confirmation, to hear it again, hear it in a different form, hear it in a different way, because it lands differently.
Yes.
So there's that. So, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Thank you.
thank you all for watching and listening, for tuning in. And we'll be back next week with another exciting guest and another topic. And I'm as surprised as you are, as always. And remember, normal is optional, masks are necessary, and you belong. I got it. Yes. And we'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to Home of Misfits by Matters of Perspective. You belong.